can prevent wildfire.
Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of our systems, lately I've been in the mood to channel the essence of nature and use that to create spells. It may be that Roots, a new mod that would fit extremely well in that category, was just released, but I think maybe I really just enjoy whacking the ground with a scythe. Anyways, I'm out here gathering some old roots, because that's what we need to get ready to start with the Roots mod. If I'm gonna be dealing with nature, what better place to do it than in the forest? I've crafted up some new teleportation stuff so I can easily go back and forth from the forest to my base. The main reason I bothered with setting up a whole new area out here is pretty much because I have some stuff set up back at the main base that I haven't shown off yet, and I just really wanted to get into this mod first. The first step to getting started is your runic tablet. This is the entire documentation of the Roots mod. As you can see, there's quite a bit of content already. But I'm not going to be showing you the documentation. I'm just going to be straight up getting into playing. This is the imbuer. We set the imbuer down. We cannot do anything with it quite yet. We need a mortar and pestle. These things are going to be used to combine natural ingredients and make a dust that we can then use to apply to a staff and make a spell. Getting started with making our first spell. Now, every spell requires a base ingredient. These ingredients will apply a certain amount of modifiers to your spell. The old root applies 0 modifiers though, but definitely going to be getting into better base ingredients in a little bit. So I've got some old roots. If we add some, this flower, melon, and red dye, and then right click with the pestle, I've got a petal dust. And it tells me the type is regeneration, but it has 0 potency, efficiency, or size. Again, you have to use certain base ingredients to be allowed the ability to apply these effects. But next, in the imbuer, put a stick in there, along with the petal dust that you just created, and it's working its magic, and we've now got a staff. And I think by the description you can probably tell what it does. Let's drain some health here. You'll see it regens some health for us. Looks like exactly a heart and a half there, but we can boost that a little bit more by using a different type of base ingredient. And this new base ingredient comes from breaking crops. Yay, I finally got one, a verdant sprig. Let us make the spell exactly the way we did last time, except this time we're going to put the verdant sprig in there, and then the same ingredients we did before, but this time I'm going to put some glowstone in there. Glowstone will boost the potency of the spell. You can see now we have +1 potency. Combine everything in the imbuer. Awesome. So this time, if we drain some health, now regenning 2 hearts per use. You can see this only has 60 uses, but I think it's pretty worth it. Making a new spell here. Put some sugarcane, poisonous potato, block of glowstone in glass. We've got electric spark. See what the electric spark does. So I spent quite a while farming some nether warts, to get an infernal bulb, which is the next level base ingredient, and it gives 2 modifier slots to whatever spell you make. But unfortunately, I ended up using this on a spell that didn't work, but I just thought I'd show you that it is obtainable, although it did take me quite a while to get. What I was supposed to do is turn monsters against one another, but it did not do that at all. So on to the next spell. Old Root, Vine, Lapis, Prismarine, and Blue Orchid equals Earthen Roots. I don't know what you would ever use this for, but it's pretty neat, I guess. If you're caving and there's a big drop, just spawn some dirt and you got a safe way down. Okay, one more spell and we'll move on. So Old Root, Blaze, Coal, Charcoal, and Netherwort gives us Inferno. Now we can light things on fire. Awesome. Goodbye, cow. I have completely decimated this forest. So yeah, there's a bunch of spells. Now there are a whole lot of spells that do a huge variety of different useful things, but I feel I should get into some other things with the mod. Otherwise I'd just be spending all day making random spells. So here's the casting altar, as well as a couple of incense braziers. These can just be set up here for now. So the casting altar is used to craft things in a process that requires the burning of incense. The incense braziers have a range of 9 by 9, I believe. It's actually probably better if I just demonstrated, so here is a bark knife. To use the bark knife, you just walk up to a tree and right-click, and you'll harvest the bark from that tree. You can only harvest so much per log, but you actually get quite a bit of bark from each tree. But I think it would be cool if we could make an axe that repairs itself. So with a wooden axe, some verdant sprig, and a piece of gold, as well as supplying both of these incense braziers with bark and then burning them, and then shift right click on the casting altar, something interesting is happening. We've now got a living axe, which is an axe that will repair itself. It looks like it repairs pretty quickly too. Unfortunately, after some testing, the axe does not self-repair unless it is in your inventory itself, so maybe later we'll come up with a system for that, but it's not going to work in the tree farm. So the next step in progressing further with roots is making mundane standing stones. These need to be set up just like this. Just 2 blocks away from your casting altar. Just going in a circle. And just like that, we now have access to a few more rituals. Have you ever killed all the cows in your general vicinity and had to travel halfway across the world to bring back some new cows at the cost of 2 raw beef, a bone, and using some seeds and netherwort as some incense? Actually, scratch that, it's raw beef, leather, and a bone. There we go. I've managed to summon a cow. So you could potentially just keep on multiplying your cows, especially if you have looting 3 on your sword. Now I'm just gonna kill it once again. This also works for chickens and sheep and all that. That's something else. I like it though. Say you're getting into Botania and you just made that flower that sucks up water to generate mana, which is actually boosted with rain. But what if you can't get rain? I'm gonna put a lily pad in the casting altar and then use vines and old root as incense. Ooh, I wonder what's happening. Could you possibly guess? It's raining! Okay, the rain's pretty annoying though, so let's banish it. Banish it. Okay, the banish rain ritual does not work. That's okay though. Crafting a couple more incense braziers here. Making the next tier standing stones, which are the attuned standing stones. These will allow me to perform a ritual for an armor upgrade. So I just set the standing stones up like that. And then I'm going to put my incense braziers just on the opposite side of those ones. Gonna have to make a full iron armor set. So we'll start off with the chest plate first. So iron chest plate, diamond, oak wood plank. And then for incense, you need oak bark, oak sapling, and wheat, which of course needs to burn. And then shift right click with an empty hand. Yay, I'm so excited for this. I've not even tested this out yet, so this is going to be completely new for me. Increased health regeneration when equipped. +1 armor toughness and +7 armor. Awesome, I'm going to finish making the rest of these and we'll see what they do. Hopefully we can finish all these before the incense all burns up. And finished. Let's replace everything and see what happens. That is probably the best looking armor I've ever seen in Minecraft. I'm standing in fire right now and I am not getting hurt whatsoever. It's unbreakable as well. If I step out, of course we're still going to be on fire, so I have to wait for that to kind of stop there. But look, slowly it's gaining its durability back. This is my favorite armor so far. You know, it's really too bad I did a whole bunch of blood magic stuff before I did the root stuff. But now it's time to move on to a little bit of blood magic, which I did do before this, but I really just wanted to show this stuff first. So moving on to what I have done. So I couldn't find anything on any sort of wiki about this, but I made a site reagent here and use reinforced slate as a catalyst, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not sure which is the catalyst. I think the reagents are the catalysts. I don't know, but I have a seer's sigil here. Looks like it's an upgraded version of the divination sigil. And I assume that if we started making something like a slate, it would tell us how much it has progressed. Awesome, yeah, look at that. So I'm going to sit here for a while and craft a bunch of blank slates so that I'm able to upgrade my altar to a tier 3 altar. And I actually think I'm going to go ahead and move the altar to a different place. The speed runes will speed up how fast we can pull blood out of our altar. 4 more runes of self-sacrifice. So now in total here we have 20 runes. And then we're actually going to need 4 glowstone blocks for the next altar upgrade. Tier 3, finally. Okay, I've finished creating my blood altar outline. So this is a tier 6 altar. Well, it's not a tier 6 altar yet. It hasn't got the runes for it yet, but I've got the runes for a tier 3 altar. This is for the altar itself. And then every single cobblestone block you see is where runes are going to be. So yeah, we've got everything ready for tier 3, so let's just let's take it one step at a time. So I'm just going to put all my self-sacrifice runes on this level. Now that's a tier 2. Okay, so I'm going to put my speed runes over here. Basic runes like that, and some self-sacrifice runes right in the middle there. Because who doesn't like a little bit of symmetry? Yay, we did it! We got a tier 3 altar! But it can still only hold 10,000 LP. It's consuming... Oh, wow, that was quick because of the speed runes there. Ooh, that's awesome. So the first thing I need to do to get what I want is upgrade my Tartaric Gem. So again, we need to start fresh from the Petty Gem. And then upgrade that to another lesser gem. Okay, so I went to the Nether, killed some blazes, and filled my Tartaric Gem up once again. But I need one more thing. We now have access to crafting of the next tier slate. So here we have it, an imbued slate. Now I needed this because this is required to craft the next tier of Tartaric Gem. It requires a lesser gem, gold block, diamond, and an imbued slate. And this needs a minimum will of 240, but I believe it drains, yeah, it drains 50. So now we have a common Tartaric Gem. But to make what I want to make next, I'm going to need a little over 400 will in my Tartaric Gem, so I'm going to go kill a whole bunch of blaze, and I'll return when I've finished. Finally back from killing a whole bunch of blazes, and I've got 510 raw will. I think that's going to be plenty for what I want to do. So if I go ahead and toss some redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, and gold nuggets in my Hellfire Forge, I think this requires a minimum of 400 will, but it only drains 10 will from your gem. And we get some binding reagents, which is going to be used to make our living armor. I've been waiting so long to make this stuff. I know there's some lightning involved, but we'll see what happens. So right click with our binding reagent. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And then put, say, an iron helmet inside. Yay, we got our first piece of living armor. Living helmet. So I'm just going to do this for all the rest of this iron armor. And we'll see what it does when I'm finished. Awesome, we have living armor. So let's go ahead and get rid of our old set of armor. And I think the simplest way to describe how living armor works is the more you do something, the more efficient you get at that task. So say if we just want to run around a lot, it'll see that we ran around a lot. It'll use some upgrade points and apply an ability to the chest piece based on how much we perform that specific task. So since we just ran around a lot, we now have Quick Feet, level 1. So Look at that, we got healthy. Maybe it gives us some more saturation each time we eat some food, but... Oh, no. Oh, wow, never mind. Look at that. We've got more hearts there. Nice, runes of capacity. So now, we can store 26,000 LP in the altar. So that's pretty cool. Ah, look at that, healthy level 3. Wow, look at all those hearts. I actually figured out that solar powered gives you regen when you're in the sunlight. But one thing that I forgot is I forgot to make the next tier orb. Man, I love having these speed runes so much faster. Nice. Magician's Blood Orb. So now we're finally in the present where I have my Wildwood armor set, and you know, I'm really debating on whether I should keep using my living armor or if I should stick with my Wildwood armor. I think they both have their different uses. Later on, living armor will definitely be a lot better to use, seeing as later on I'll be able to customize what I train my living wood armor in. But for right now, I'm going to stick with Wildwood since it's very often that I'm going to be sacrificing some blood to my altar, so it's very nice to have that really quick regen. So there's actually a spell that will turn negative effects into positive effects. So I'm going to see if that affects the Soul Fray debuff. Every time you sacrifice blood after using the incense altar, it gives you Soul Fray to kind of stop you from sacrificing so much blood in quick succession. So this requires old roots, a golden apple, glistering melon, and an apple. So stick in the petal dust. We get Nature's Cure. Okay then, I'm here at my altar with my sacrificial dagger. You can see I have no debuffs, but if I sacrifice some blood here, see we now have Soul Fray, which will prevent us from sacrificing in that 20-second time span. You see if I try to use this, it won't let me sacrifice blood. But if I use the staff, it removes that debuff, and we can now sacrifice more blood. I mean, the only thing that's holding us back right now is my incense altar being so far away. But that's really it. This is awesome. But anyways, that's about all I think I can cram into one video. Next time I'm going to look into upgrading the incense altar, among many other things. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.